In these recordings, a woman is shown whose actions the next day will shake society and cause shock throughout the entire country. On Tuesday evening, the 25th of April 2023, Michael Fantinelli returned home to Louisiana, where he lived together with Hannah Linden, his 45-year-old life partner, and two daughters from a previous marriage. 6-year-old Bella and her older sister. The day had been particularly challenging for Michael, and he felt exhausted. Therefore, he went to bed immediately after his return without finding Hannah beside him. Assuming that she might be somewhere nearby, Michael hoped to see her return, but fatigue overwhelmed him, and he fell asleep. In the morning, when the alarm clock rang at 7 o'clock, Michael woke up and decided first to check on the daughters before going to work. In the room, he found the older daughter sleeping peacefully in her bed, but younger Bella's place was empty. Her bed was carefully made, as if the girl had not prepared at all to sleep in it. Michael tried to push aside the worrying thoughts, assuming that Bella might have been picked up by her mother, Jennifer Zeladine, who lived nearby. Since their divorce, the custody disputes over the children were sometimes so intense that the police had to intervene, which intensified the tensions between the former spouses. Michael Fantinelli was very concerned about the absence of Hannah Linden, his life partner, and Bella, their youngest daughter. He could not explain where they might have disappeared to during his absence. Normally, Hannah always informed him about her plans and never left the children unsupervised. That Hannah was not at his side in the morning when he woke up, although she usually got up later than he did, confused him. After he had searched the house and did not find Hannah, Michael suspected that she might have gone to her mother, although he did not like this thought. Michael knew Hannah well and was certain of her loyalty to him and his daughters. Hannah, who had no children herself, loved and cared for Michael's daughters as if they were her own. The relationship between them was truly familial. The absence of Hannah and Bella, as well as Hannah's switched-off phone, caused Michael serious concern. His attempts to contact the ex-wife remained unsuccessful. His concern grew, and he hurried to the police station to report the absence. The next morning, police officers came to the house where Michael and Hannah lived. They examined the house thoroughly and spoke with both Michael and his older daughter. Unfortunately, no relevant information was found that could help with the search. Now, still confused and concerned, Michael hoped for the police's support in searching for Hannah and Bella and expected their prompt and safe return home. During a conversation at the police station, Michael shared information about the difficult relationships between Jennifer and Hannah, mentioning that they had recently become particularly tense. These statements prompted the investigators to consider Jennifer Zeldin as a possible reason for Hannah's disappearance. The question about Bella's whereabouts arose. If she was with her biological mother, why had she not also taken her second daughter? In search of answers, the officers made their way to Jennifer's house on Field Drive number 19 and arrived there at 8:20 in the morning. The place seemed peaceful and quiet, without signs of any misunderstanding. However, as soon as the officers examined the premises, a cart with a large plastic bucket that had been carelessly left on the lawn in front of the house drew their attention. The interest in this bucket quickly led them to a shocking discovery. At the bottom of the bucket lay evidence of a legal violation. The investigative measures around Jennifer's house were immediately intensified. The suspected crime scene was cordoned off, and Hannah's disappearance entered the phase of criminal investigation. A further forensic examination promised to reveal more information about what had happened. Michael and Jennifer were deeply affected and grieved no less than the other. It was impossible to recover from what had happened. While the police were certain that Bella's parents could not be connected in any way to this unpleasant event, they suspected that the crime could only have been committed by someone who suffered from psychological problems and was probably known to the family. How else could he have known about their whereabouts? Later, the family described the event in interviews as an absurd-seeming act that fundamentally changed their lives. In honor of Bella's memory, her aunt, Bianca Cano, has created a page on a social network where she shares heartfelt posts about how Bella was during her lifetime and how her family will remember her. Bianca filled the page with the words, "The world has shown itself so harsh toward us. You were with us for only 6 magical years as a gift of your unique, tender soul. Your voice, your uniqueness, your ability to dance, your gentleness and fragility, your smile, your laughter, and your ability to express yourself. All of this will remain with us forever. Words cannot describe how wonderful this soul was. The residents of the place where the Fontanelle family lived always spoke of Bella as a cheerful and open girl. She was often seen playing in the yard with her sister or darting through the streets of the settlement on her bicycle. Bella was a student at St. Matthew's School. When the news about the incident with one of the students quickly spread through the town, the school administration decided to suspend classes until the end of the week so that students and parents could appropriately pay their respects. On the 29th of April 2023, a ceremony took place that attracted hundreds of participants, including 510 students with whom Bella had shared the school bench. Given the close connection between the residents of the small town, where everyone knew everyone, the farewell to the girl became a significant event. Fresh memories of Bella playing on the street collided with the sad necessity of saying goodbye. This event reminded everyone in the town that the perpetrator is still free and might be among them, continuing to do his everyday things on the same streets. During the time of active search actions and investigations, the investigators' attention turned to the person of Hannah Linden, Michael's life partner, who was suspected of possibly being involved in the case. Michael Fontanelle, who did not give up hope, believed that Hannah herself might need help. However, his assumptions proved to be wrong, as Hannah was found alive. She was in a hospital where she was subjected to a psychiatric examination. The events took an unexpected turn when, after midnight on the 26th of April, a disoriented woman without documents, who could not clearly explain what she wanted, approached the police department. Eventually, an ambulance was called and the woman was taken to the hospital. In exploring Hannah's personality, who was previously known as Bina Klin, the investigators discovered many questionable details. She loved Michael and his daughters sincerely, especially the younger one, Bella, whom she regarded as the ideal of a daughter, friendly, full of life, and open. However, Hannah harbored a dislike for the girl's mother, Michael's ex-wife. Although Jennifer did not interfere in her life with Michael and merely had the desire to see her daughters and participate in their lives, which is a completely natural need for any mother. In the year 2021, a serious disagreement occurred between Hannah and Jennifer, which reached its peak when Hannah decided to go to court to prevent Jennifer from approaching her. According to Linden, Jennifer repeatedly caused difficulties in connection with this disagreement. However, the courts found no sufficient basis to impose such restrictions and rejected her application. The lawsuit was based on 2 incidents. The first occurred on the 17th of March 2021 at a swimming competition in which Jennifer's younger daughter participated. When Jennifer came to support her, she saw how Hannah was hugging her daughter Bella. As she came closer, Jennifer tried to take the girl, but Hannah refused to give her to her, arguing that Bella could only see her mother on weekends. This incident deeply affected Jennifer. The second incident occurred on the 8th of June of the same year during a football game. In the police report filed by Hannah, it was stated that Jennifer had given cause for disagreements. But even in this case, the court saw no basis for a ban against Jennifer, and the case was closed. Thus, despite Hannah's efforts to enforce legal restrictions against Jennifer, both incidents did not lead to a change in their legal relationship to each other due to the lack of convincing evidence. Hannah Linden tried to appear innocent in the situation that had arisen, but her efforts were unsuccessful, and the subsequent police investigation only brought more clarity. It became clear to the investigator that Linden was hiding her true face. From the police reports, it emerged that Linden had been arrested sometime before the described events. On one day, Jennifer and her sister decided to visit Michael to arrange a meeting with the daughters. But at the door, they were greeted not by him, but by Hannah. Linden firmly refused Jennifer the meeting with the children and explained that she and Michael would work toward granting custody of the girls exclusively to Michael. These words deeply affected Jennifer. The situation could have escalated if Michael had not intervened, who calmed Jennifer by assuring her that she could still see her daughters, and even allowed their meeting. However, Hannah was dissatisfied with this turn of events. At the moment when Jennifer hugged her younger daughter, Lyndon unexpectedly pulled out a mobile phone and began filming. This action was noticed by Evelyn, who was outraged by Hannah's desire to capture such personal moments. She expressed her disapproval, but Hannah ignored her words. Evelyn's attempt to grab the phone prompted Lyndon to behave even more strangely. The episode that led to Evelyn filing a complaint with the police against Hannah left small misunderstandings in the form of small marks under the eye and on the arm of Evelyn, as was mentioned in the medical document. Hannah, however, refused to acknowledge any involvement in the event and insisted that Evelyn was the source of the event, although no marks were found on her. Michael could not provide the police with any valuable information and explained that he had not witnessed the event and therefore could not share any details of the events. After the event, Hannah received a summons to court, and shortly thereafter a serious incident occurred, with which Hannah was directly connected according to the investigator's view. His intuition proved to be correct when it became known that a video was recorded that shows on the 25th of April at 21:35, a woman in a red sweater and white shoes pushing a cart with a large bucket through the streets of the city on the way to Jennifer Zeldin's house. Passing cars caused her no slight irritation. She walked quickly and with a clear goal. In front of the house with number 19 on Sedgwick Drive, a cart with a bucket and its contents was found. The identification of the unknown woman who was captured on the video led to the determination of her identity as Hannah Lyndon, whom Michael described as a woman who loved his children very much and cared for them as if they were her own. Her fingerprints were found on the cart. After her arrest, Lyndon asked for the right to speak with a psychiatrist, which could indicate both deep guilt as well as an attempt to mitigate the possible sentence by recognizing the severity of the charges brought against her in light of Louisiana's legislation. For a first-degree crime, the strictest sanction is provided here. Currently, Hannah Lyndon is in Jefferson County Correctional Facility without possibility of bail under constant medical supervision. She is charged not only with a first-degree crime, but also with attempting to obstruct the course of justice. The investigation of the case is not yet completed, and it remains unclear what exactly motivated Lyndon to her deed.